Hello and welcome to What the Fort. Today we're doing another finds video. This one is on bricks, where they were made, how they were made and their uses. This building material is all around us, so let's look at its history.
Bricks were first used in Britain by the Romans, but today we are looking at the bricks we see all around us. Dutch bricks were first imported to Britain in the 13th century, and this area continued to be an important source of bricks for several centuries. They were used as ballast on ships for bringing over imported pottery. See our pottery video for more details about these vessels. The earlier Dutch and English bricks were much smaller than the later ones.
This is a 19th century brick. The short side of the brick is known as the header, the long side is the stretcher, the flat side is the bed, and the side with the dip is the frog. Brick frogs were introduced in the middle of the 19th century as a way to still maintain the strength of the brick but use less clay. This also made them lighter and easier to carry. The makers often stamped their names or initials into the frog of the brick, such as this one made by Thomas & Co. of Wellington in Somerset, who operated from 1861 to 1966.
By the late 18th and 19th centuries, the demand for bricks hugely increased with the construction of the canals and later the railways. Bricks were needed for bridges, arches, signal boxes, and all manner of other structures.
Before mechanisation, wooden brick moulds such as this would have been used. The clay was thrown into the mould and then a wire was run across the top to remove any extra clay.
The moulded clay was then turned out and left to dry in fields for 2 days and 2 nights, then stacked and left to harden further for weeks or even months. They were stacked and fired in a kiln with up to 1,000 bricks for 2 to 3 days of continual heat, then left to cool naturally for 2 days. Digging the clay and making and moving the bricks was obviously a very physical and hard job. In the 1820s, mechanism started in brickmaking, and huge brickyards making thousands more bricks using less labour and time were set up. By the 1850s, most small traditional brickyards using labour alone had closed or had been bought out. There are many different colours of bricks. These colour differences are based on the clay used and the area as well as firing techniques. London bricks have yellow or buff colour. Red or orange ones are common to the Midlands. Blue ones also appear in the Midlands and are known as the Staffordshire blue brick. Sussex and Kent have iron oxide rich clays which produce vivid red bricks. Cambridgeshire have white buff bricks and Yorkshire has grey or dark buff colours. Different coloured bricks from outside the immediate area were usually much more expensive than local ones, but if you wanted to show off your wealth, you could use a small amount of contrasting colours to place around the windows or doors, or to include a pattern in the brickwork wall. The brick bonding or pattern in which the bricks were arranged gives the wall added strength, and the designs can have an impressive finish. This is known as a stretcher bond, with the bricks laid with the long side showing. The header bond has all the short sides showing. The English bond has rows of stretchers over rows of headers. This was commonly used until the end of the 17th century. It's also thought to be one of the strongest bonds, so it was used for bridges and other engineering structures after this date. The other main type of bond is the Flemish bond, which has alternative headers and stretchers in each row. This became more common after the start of the 18th century.
This fine building is on the outskirts of Exeter near Digby Tesco's. This whole area was a large asylum complex. This was the water tower associated with the hospital. The use of bricks in the structure shows that it's sometimes important to use curved ones as well as just the square ones. We've discovered bricks were hugely important for the construction of our railways, canals, and for more domestic purposes. They're often taken for granted, but much of our industrial past relied on this cheap and versatile material. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope to see you soon.